Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. And I'm going to update you on this polar vortex coming down. It's actually coming down twice. I'm going to let you know what the outcomes will be from this. And, of course, the snowstorms do coincide with this polar vortex. Now, I like to personally say, Texas, if you remember in 2021, I told you a month early about that tragic hard freeze that y'all had. This is not going to be like that, okay? Now, if you never heard of this before or you just now hearing about this, make sure you subscribe. I've been here all year long. I am every single day, just not Friday from sundown to sundown Saturday. That's Sabbath, unless lives are at stake, of course. But my community has been knowing about this for days, and I always do updates. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and share the information if you think this will help someone else, possibly some farmers and some crops, because this is going to be a lot of cold air coming down. But first, it's time to show some love to another subscriber. So make sure you subscribe so you qualify. You've never been here before. Our sponsor, Tempest Weather Station, we're with them all year long for 2023. We've been giving it away and we'll continue to keep giving these away every other day all year long. Now, you have to put the comment radar in the comments, and you have to be a subscriber and hit the like button to be qualified. And if you share the information, I would appreciate that even more. Plus, once you install one of these, it only takes about 5 minutes. It's not long at all. You will be part of the Tempest Weather community where you can go to any one of these sites. Now, this hooks up to your Google Home, to your Alexa, to your phone. There's so many ways to see this information. And there is a lot of information that you can get on this weather app. And you can choose any one of these sites of the information you want to get. It don't have to be just yours. So if you know somebody that's in severe weather a lot, this is the best way to keep them informed of when their dew points is rising, when the thunderstorms are coming in, and when the winds are getting bad. So if you don't want to wait, you can always get one. Link is in the description all year long. Now let's get to the video. I'll give you an update. Almost about 4 days ago, I told you that after these snowstorms come through, these 3 major storms come through, bringing us severe weather as well, is going to end in a big bang. And it's still looking that way, just not as strong as what it looked like a few days ago. And Florida, you are in a freeze warning still this morning and a frost advisory, but this is going to be going away. You're pretty much the only place that's not going to be affected by this, maybe a little bit of the northern panhandle. So if you're wondering what a polar vortex is, this is from NOAA, so you can see. It's when you have a lot of cold air near their pole, and you also have a bunch of low pressures. And these low pressures will eventually come south into the U.S. Our first dip is going all the way into Mexico, and then it's going to come down again for the southeast. It's pretty much going to go over Texas and skip you a little bit. But what I see is the temperatures are not catching up with the precipitation, but you still have that chance for some snow in Texas. And that is what you see here this morning. So if you go and look up near the pole, you can see all these swirls going around with all this cold air. This is your polar vortex coming down into the U.S. And so far, it is coming down twice. It's coming down around the 22nd and 23rd, all the way to the 25th, and then again on the 26th, just for a short time. That's where you're going to get your temperatures for Texas, but it don't stick around, and it goes back to the southeast after that. So there will be 2 good dips of this air. So when you take a look at all your information on the telekinetics, your update with the Arctic Oscillation, your AO, you can see we still have that cold air coming down from the 17th all the way to the 20th. And it's even going to linger a little bit to about the 21st or 22nd and maybe get another bump. This is according to the Euro. At the same time, when you look at your EPO, your East Pacific Oscillation, you see how in California, your jet stream is going way north. You got that big high pressure build. That's why you're not getting the storms for a minute after what you just had. And it is coming back as we go from the 21st all the way towards the beginning of February. So there will be a jet stream get pulled all the way down to the southwest of the U.S. during this time. And when you look at your NAO, your North Atlantic Oscillation, you can see also that from the 17th all the way to the 20th, there's going to be a dip there also. So your jet stream on the west side of the U.S. is going to come down. Your jet stream on the east side of the U.S. is going to come down. And that's going to let this cold air passage right through the south. And you can see with your long term on the euro that after your cold air comes in for that dip, this is going to be a strong dip, that it is going to start pulling away. So as it goes towards the southeast in the 20s, the cold air is actually going to be pulling away and stay away. So you can see this on an update from NOAA. So your 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook is well below average in this region. It's going all the way into Mexico, while you stay above average and normal in the gray. Then when you go from 8 to 14 days out, you can see that the cold air starts receding back to the north. And as you go 3 to 4 weeks out, it keeps receding away and away. This is all the way to the beginning of February. So you have some really cold air coming down all the way to the 25th. But once you go all the way to from the 23rd through the 29th, it's going to be retracting back right when you need this cold air here to give you this possible snowfall. Like I said, the temperatures are going to be chasing the precipitation. And you can see this from the update from Climate Prediction Center. So from the 21st all the way to the 27th, here is your slight risk for hazardous temperatures, and it does go all the way into Mexico. It just don't show it because it's not a U.S. border. But you can see how this is not going into Texas. This is not going into Oklahoma or the southeast. And this is all the way until the 27th. Also up here for the upper Midwest, because we have that big snowstorm that's going to be passing through, and all the models are in agreement still where this snow is going. It's the second one that is still unknown as we get this cold air, and that second one that's taking that potential southern snow, just like I showed you a few days ago, still showing the same possibilities. Now you can see this when you look way up at the geopotential height of the thickness, and you can see when it comes with your temperatures as you go through the 20s, that you get a little dip of cold air all the way to the 22nd. It goes all the way down to a little bit of northern Texas. But when this polar air really comes down with a low pressure, it's going to be that second system. And now you can see as it comes to the 24th and 25th, it dives towards Mexico. And this is where it's going to be hitting the temperatures. As it's going up on a high ridge towards Texas, it loses its strength. See how it gets potent right there? That's the highest, the 25th. Then it loses its strength as it passes by. So it's not going to be a strong polar vortex going all the way to the south. And that second dip isn't going that far neither. And it will come all the way across the U.S. Now, the second dip will bring a lot of cold temperatures to everyone else but the south. This is going to be some cold air. You can also see this on your dynamic tropopause of your potential temperatures. So you have your cold air coming through right there for northern Texas for the 22nd, while you have all this warm air revolving around in clockwise. And then you have that next one, the one that's coming with the polar air. The second storm comes right down to the southwest towards California, towards Arizona, towards Utah, Nevada, hits a lot of cold temperatures, goes down towards Mexico. And then you can see at this point, we're at the 25th. Now you have all these warm temperatures rising up, and it don't quite match up with the rest of the south. By the 26th, this is the chances for freezing temperatures to hit for northern Texas, Oklahoma, a little bit of New Mexico. But you also see it don't go that deep, and then it goes right back up on that high ridge, and the next one comes in. Warm air swooshes in for the 27th, the 28th. Don't allow that cold air to come to the south. Now, as this cold air moves in, you can see that same shot on National Weather Service for Sunday. This is that cold dip of air coming all the way down. You see it affects the whole southwest, even brings single digits towards Arizona and New Mexico, maybe even Colorado, Utah, Nevada. Everybody getting in on some teen temperatures. But as far as Texas, it's going to be western Texas feeling those 20s all the way up towards the panhandle of Texas. Everybody else is going to be right above freezing, and it's going to be warmer for the rest of Texas. But this is going to move a little further over. This is 6 to 7 days away, and this cold air that you're probably hearing is going to really affect you, Texas. I'm telling you, it will not be like 2021. These people are showing you something 12 days away. Now you can see that shot here, the update with the euro. As you go to the 22nd, you can see all this cold temperatures coming all the way down into Mexico. You're getting a lot of freezing temperatures, a lot of bad wind chills that's coming for the southwest. Also, you can see for Texas, it's affecting the northern panhandle. Now, the bad part is, so far, euro is showing it might come all the way down to the 25th. And if it does that, it brings a lot of cold temperatures up Midwest, West Coast, Central U.S. But you see how it brings 20s now into Texas. Now at this point, the storm that was coming down, if you've been following my channel, you know about these 3 storms. That second storm that comes down, because the first one's going to the upper Midwest. Deep dip, remember I showed you on the teleconnections, but it's going to be right in front of these cold temperatures. Maybe get a little bit for northern Texas on a wraparound as it's moving to the east with the precipitation. But from what I can see, the temperatures are not catching up with it, and the temperatures aren't staying long. Matter of fact, I'm looking at the end of the run. This is literally 228 hours away, right at the end of the run. But rather be safe than sorry if this was to happen. We're talking 9 days away with the Euro. We all know it changes after 3 days, guys, but let's just humor it a little bit. You could get temperatures and wind chills down to single digits and teen temperatures as it's moved through. Might even get a little bit of negative wind chills for northern Texas, where everybody in the upper Midwest gets these negative 20s and 30s. Goes across the central U.S., the 4 corners, you definitely get in the teen temperatures to negative wind chills. A lot of cold air is coming with this polar vortex. Once again, take this with a grain of salt. This is way too far. Because as you can see with GFS, that Euro is pretty much the only model that is seeing that. Now, as you go to the 22nd, you could get some 20s for the panhandle of Texas. But you see how that warm air, like I showed you in the beginning with the tropopause, that it affects it greatly. And you really don't get the freezing temperatures for the rest of the South. The panhandle is the only place that's going to be getting anything. Now, maybe on a second dip, that GFS sees that cold air could come down for the southeast. And that is normally what you see. Comes all the way down for the 29th. And we're talking 324 hours away. A ridiculous amount of time away. Please take this with a grain of salt. This will definitely change. But this is what it's showing for the southeast. So I'm not showing a very strong polar vortex. Definitely not like 2021. Matter of fact, I'm showing when the temperatures come down, it's not going to last long, 6 or 12 hours. And it don't even stay long. Right after that, even on that ridiculous amount of time, it warms back up. So it's just this little time span where it can squeeze in some cold temperatures, and there's a lot of things blocking it. Matter of fact, when you look with the Euro, with the EPS, and see your chances for your 2-meter temperatures, for your minimum temperatures, of everybody that's going to be below 32 degrees. When we go to the 22nd, just like the outlook was for the Southwest, you can see everybody that's in this dark red, you are definitely going to be below 32 degrees. All this orange and yellow just drops your percentage dramatically. So you can see who is in it for the 22nd, and as we move forward, you can see the probability 10 days out now. Percentage is not that strong, guys. It's even going away. Your strongest percentage of the 32 degrees or less is just like what Weather Prediction Center has for the Southwest all the way to the 27th. That is it. And you can see here from the Euro also that once you go to the 22nd, as that cold air comes in, that it don't meet up with the precipitation. This is a 540 freezing line. See how it goes all the way down towards Mexico. The storms are moving in front of it, all this Gulf moisture, and it's not meeting much. It's getting a little bit on the panhandle as you go through, and that is it. Then your cold temperatures come across Texas. It's not meeting up together. I'm even showing a lot of you going to see snow, and it's not even going to stick. It's not going to be a lot of snowfall. But there's a chance. So let me show you all the information that I have. So as we look at all the ensemble members and see what the second snowstorm is going to do from the 21st all the way to the 23rd, you can see right here on your control member at literally in 5.5 days when this first storm starts to come by, on the 21st and 22nd, when you get that cold air, this is your more than likely outcome, the control member, that it'll be way too warm, guys. You will get some snow for the panhandle of Texas, and it moves to the east into Oklahoma as that snowstorm goes up to the upper Midwest. And then you have that chance for that second storm to come in from the 23rd also all the way to the 25th. And it's showing that it could be some snowfall coming in for New Mexico on the 24th, also for western Texas and northern Texas, maybe even getting into Dallas right there, according to the control member, by the 24th, and then moving east over Oklahoma, northern Arkansas for the 25th. But like I said, it's way too warm to get in accumulation. I know you probably want this one that you see right here, but this is not the one you want to follow. This is your control member. This is your more than likely outcome out of all these possibilities. But be careful. You might see this in a model run. Just don't believe it. An outcome shows that it will be major snowfall for Arizona, for New Mexico, but it will barely hit the panhandle of Texas. And this is all the way up for 10 days. Now, if we go past 10 days, the next storm could accumulate a little bit more for western Texas. This gray is 1 to 2 inches, and it could hit a little bit of the south. All the gray is 1 to 2 inches. Once again, don't believe model runs if you see them come out like this. But this is really far out, okay? But for the southeast, by the 27th, 276 hours away. Possibility. In the control member up here, you can see that storm could pass by and put some snow for northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky possibility. But no matter what, we still have this first snowstorm that is coming, and it is trending with all the weather models pretty much what the impacts are going to be, so it's getting pretty narrowed down. At the same time, you can see when you go all the way to the 22nd, the storm comes in. This is the latest Euro. It shows it could be major snowfall for the northwestern side of the panhandle of Texas. This is just for Texas. And you might get an inch right here. This is the latest from the Euro. Then the next one that comes in after that to the 25th is a possibility for some more snow to add up. But once again, this always changes. Ask anybody in the community, this is 10 days away. This will not happen the way it's showing now. But there is a concerning factor because the control member of the Euro is showing that from January 17th to January 27th, not only the snowfall that we're going to get first, that it could do that big dip, put major snow into northern Mexico, and it could be major snow on western Texas before it loses that cold air and drops a little bit more for Texas. And all this gray is an inch of snow, maybe even 2. So this is a good possibility, according to the control member of the Euro, of Texas seeing some good snowfall. Now, it won't last long because your temperatures warm right back up, but you could see it. But the temperatures that follow behind this precipitation is the cold temperatures. This is the control member of the Euro with your daily low temperatures, what your chances more likely will be, where everybody's getting this very cold temperatures up in the Midwest, not even wind chills. You could get into the 20s and maybe even the 30s going across central Texas. This is the control member. But once again, look at this. This is day 12, guys. I will keep you updated. It's ridiculous to show something this far out and expect it to be accurate like it's going to happen. Because as you can see, for January, this is your below average temperatures all the way into Mexico, but everybody else is going to be in the above average range. Then as you go through February, it's going to move to the Northwest and upper Midwest, just like I said in the other video. Everybody else is going to stay above average, even as you go through March. Trust me, guys, you're going to be above average. This is going to be a very small chance for this to happen. But that first snowstorm that is coming Wednesday through Thursday this week, it is bringing a lot of snowfall, even a little bit for the panhandle of Texas, but you got western Oklahoma, you got western Kansas, possibly major snowfall. Also for Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, higher elevations of California, Northern California. A lot of heavy snowfall coming with this and still showing major all the way up towards Wisconsin and Michigan. That has not changed. The snowfall you see over here is what they're getting in the New England states from that subtropical storm in Atlantic, just like I said yesterday. So for Wednesday, as that system goes to the upper Midwest, you still have that severe weather aspect. You have the 5% in the brown and the 15% in the yellow. And here's your cities and states at risk for Wednesday. 15% being the yellow, 5% being the brown. I will update you on this and what the possibilities are. It's still 3 days away. Because when you look at update on SIPs, it does show there's a chance for it to get a little bit stronger and still carry to the next day as it weakens down. So we will see as we get closer if this upgrades anymore. I will keep you updated. But as you can see for Wednesday, as this snowstorm comes in, it will bring severe weather as well with it. So I will keep you updated as we get some closer information. It's just now coming into view of the high resolution models. The rest of them, there's no point because they're not high resolution. But most of all, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a very blessed Monday out there. God bless every single one of you. Make sure if you want weather updates, you subscribe. Thank you again for all my new subscribers. Now for today, I want to talk to you Psalm 13. How long wilt thou forget me, O Lord? Forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Consider and hear me, O Lord, my God. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest mine enemies say, I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, because he hath dealt bountifully with me. Amen. Have a very great day, everybody. Stay positive, and positive results always comes out of that. I'm a firm believer. It's always been like that my whole life. You're a great person. You're a good guy. Tell yourself that in the mirror. You never done that before? You hear a lot of negative things out there. Tell yourself 3 good things in the mirror about yourself, and you'll feel better instantly. You just hear so much negativity. Remember, you're worth dying for. Another quick note. I've been having a lot of dreams, to all my viewers out there, about a week now. And it's been like, I don't want to say war end of times. It's been some pretty hectic dreams, and I don't understand really while I'm getting these dreams what's going on. And it's hard to recollect the next day. I just remember somewhat what it was about, and it wasn't good. If you've been getting these kind of dreams, please let me know in the comments below. That way I know I'm not the only one getting a little crazy here, but it's some pretty wild dreams. Above all things, all glory goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh, God of Jacob, God of Abraham, Father of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, our Savior. And he loves you. He loves you so much that his only son, his only begotten son, died for you. If you never heard the Bible before or listened to the words from God, make sure you subscribe, because I will read them to you every single day. You need to know him. Things are getting rough out there. Even the non-believers can see it for themselves. God bless you, and may you stay protected every day of your life, whether you come back or not. Amen. Hallelujah. Have a great day, everybody.